Greetings, YouTubers. Very, very good afternoon to you. It's a Wednesday morning. No, it's not. It's Wednesday afternoon. November the 5th, I believe it is. 5th or 6th. I'm terrible with dates, honestly. It's Big Jim in his London Taxi International 2003 plate. 287,000 miles on the clock and counting. And I'm on my way home. It's been a long day today. I was in at 6 o'clock this morning. Had some things to do very, very early with a cruise. And I am now at 10 to 1, just after lunch, disappearing off. Nice and steady. No rush, no heroics. And here we are, driving the cab. Living the dream, as they say. Living the dream, that's what I'm doing. I thought I'd talk today just a little bit in the vlog about, a lot of people have asked in previous communication down below, asked about owning one of these, and I've sort of gone over it all in different vlogs, and I thought what I'll do today is just literally, there's nothing written down, we'll talk about what it's like having one of these, owning one of these, what fun you can have in one of these. Why would you buy one of these? Why would you buy an old London cab? What makes somebody get their hard-earned cash out of the bank and wander off and think they're going to buy an old 2003 ex-London Taxi that's done 287,000 miles, or mine was 285, wasn't it? 284,000 miles on the clock, and we don't even know if that's right. What makes someone want to go out and buy something that old, that's probably worn away, that's unreliable, that has spent so much of its life around London with hundreds of thousands of people sat in the back seat, that it must be falling to pieces and not worth mucking about with? Well, you've got to weigh up a couple of factors here, gang. Because of the mileage of these, and because of what they've done, on, i.e. the miles they've been on the road, what they've actually gone through, when they do get sold, because you remember we talked about Mayor Khan and Boris Johnson after 15 years threw all these taxis out. Anything over 15 years old, they don't want them in London. No matter how shiny, like Poppy is, they don't want them. But in doing that, it forces the price down on these. I've mentioned in the previous vlog as well, you can pick one of these up as little as about £500. Don't know what you're going to get for £500. You're really looking at walking for one of these at around, this is a TX2 by the way, TX4 obviously newer model, there was no TX3. The TX4 was the new Euro version, had different emissions criteria set on it. The TX2 is a cheap buying option. You probably walk in on these, the walk-in is around, I would say £850, £900, and then upwards of about £4,000 or £5,000 for the creme de la creme. Once you buy one of these, you've got to do your homework, as I've said before. It's the most important thing, doing your homework. You've got to be able to either work on it yourself, have the tools to work on it, because remember, these are really commercial vehicles, semi-commercial vehicles. Everything's a lot bigger on these. They spend a lot of time on the road. They're heavy, a ton and a quarter, a ton and a half, I believe, something like that. They're bloody heavy. What you've got to do is you've got to be prepared to pay out, i.e. to work on these. And if you don't like working on them, and you don't like getting your hands greasy, then the next option you've got to do, you've got to pay for somebody else to do it. So that's going to cost you a few little bobs. So when you first buy one of these, you'll probably look at it and you'll be blinded by, oh, I definitely want an old cab. It's something that I really want and I've always wanted to have. Or it might be an impulse buy. And you don't look too deep into it. Now, I would say the most important thing when you are purchasing one of these, if you don't know, you've got to take a mechanic with you or someone that does know, because these do, as a lot of people are going to mention down below as well, suffer inherently with corrosion. Now, you don't actually hear that word corrosion now on newer type cars. It's these, remember, 2003, strategic places within these, up by the rear suspension, up by the rear door quarters, seals in and out of sections on the seals. It'll rot away. And there are, in the London Vintage Taxi Association, there's guys there that are doing major strip down back to the bare bones and rebuilds of some of the earlier cabs, the FXs, and the state of some of those cars, what they find, I mean, personally, you know, far beyond what I could do. But they would look at it, I would look at it and send it off to the skip, but they don't. Excuse me, you're not boring me, I'm boring myself, and I hope I'm not boring you. We would send it, or I would send it off, but they don't. They cut it out, they re-weld, they make such a beautiful job on it, and we see all those pictures up on the website there for the London Vintage Taxi Association. Please join it if you get the chance. It's really worth joining. It's good fun, and you'll get more than your money out of it by asking questions non-stop like I was in the early days, because that's something I wasn't quite sure of, and someone that owns one of these will know all about it. So it's about £39 a year, just, you know, just them helping you out once. 39 quid, you've earned it. So I would say LVTA, London Vintage Taxi Association. Check them up online. You can look at quite a few of the pages, and please join it. So you've bought your cab. It's not a rot box, as some of them are, and you're going to stick with it. Get something as well that, you know, that you like, something that's shiny, something that's not too beaten up, unless you're going to just use it for just a wrecker on the road, but something that you're going to enjoy driving, something that's a bit tidy inside, something that's a bit tidy on the outside. A lot of these did have, like we said, rust spots on them, rear wheel arches going, front wings, under door skins, underneath the doors. Open up the doors, stick your fingers up all underneath them doors, and a lot of them rotted out from down there. The channels used to block and they rotted out. So, you know, as I said, do your homework and make sure you don't get left with a lemon. So once you've got one, then you've got it insured, hopefully. Again, as we spoke about in previous vlogs, there's only about 4 or 5 insurance companies that will actually insure you for social and domestic pleasure to drive one of these. Look to spend around the 500 mark for fully com insurance on this. Now I took that out on this, again I keep mentioning it in the previous vlog, and that 500 is with a full 60% no claims bonus discount on there. This is the most I've ever paid on a vehicle in my life, and I've had some nice cars. The reason being, there's only 5 companies that are dealing with it, and they're all about the same price. They don't compete against one another, so they got you by the short and curlies. They know that you're going to have to come to them. So you've got to look at, be prepared to pay about 500. Now you will get stories of some people here that will tell you they got theirs for 270 off Tesco's and Norwich Union. I approached all these companies and they don't even want to know you, because your registration number will not even be on their database. So it's a waste of time. Adrian Flux are one of the big ones that will actually insure you on these. Look it up online, just type in on Google taxi insurance domestic private use, and you'll come up with only about 4 or 5 of them. So that's going to cost you. Road tax, the dirty word is diesel here, gang. Road tax, this one here is just over £300 a year for road tax. Now when you think you drive a nice little car now, like my daughter's got a nice little Mini Clubman, a Countryman, sorry, the estate version, her road tax is £25 a year. It's a diesel, she pays 25, I pay 300. Now I thought I was on the top ceiling light, on the top ceiling for a TX2 and all the taxis. I thought that's as expensive as it gets. I was proved wrong by one of the subscribers down below who's got a TX4, and for some reason, and I have checked it and he is right, their road tax or road fund is £600 a year. So if you're going to TX4 above a TX2, look at 600, TX2 300. It's all adding up now with the costs, isn't it? If you're looking for a vehicle that's going to be the most reliable vehicle in the world, don't buy a London Taxi International, because they're not. They got funny idiosyncrasies. They're funny. They are the most weirdest thing. They do things that they want to do, and a fault will start and then a fault will stop. Something else will go wrong. This will go wrong. So if you want trouble-free motoring for the rest of your life, go and buy a Japanese car. Go and buy a Honda CR-V. It'll give you less headaches in the long run. So that'll all mount up on you. You can see they're not the most reliable vehicles in the world. Next, that's all the negative reasons why I said to you that you shouldn't get one, I suppose. I hope it hasn't frightened you off, because the best part about owning one of these is owning one. They are fun, they're quirky, people will talk to you all the time. I'm forever getting comments down here, because there are no cabs down here, no old ex-London black cabs, and even the old taxi drivers, Hackney Carriage down here, that are driving the standard cars, they all sit and smile when they see me. So they're just fun. It really is a fun thing to do on here. I love them to pieces, I really do, and I couldn't see myself actually not owning her now. So there's another reason why. They're just fantastic fun things to own, and they'll make you smile every day. But there are times when they'll make you cry, and in times when they make you cry, that's what the London Vintage Taxi Association's for. They're there to sort of carry you, help you along, and say, look guy, this is what's gone wrong, we can repair that for this. There are a few specialist companies around, mainly up London, and they will repair your taxi, but not at a price, certainly not for nothing. And that is the difference. They are expensive if you're sticking them in a garage. So I just got people just wandering in the road aimlessly. They are great fun to have. Great fun to own. They got the most amazing turning circle. You'll get into anywhere with one of these. In fact, even today, even now, they surprise me every day when you're driving them, what you can get yourself into. There we go. There we go. That's me getting into a space, a very, very small space that I really shouldn't have attempted, but I did. And I'm in. How about that? Well, gang, that's it. It was quite a short one. I'm home now. I thought I'd give you a little bit of a rundown of what it's like owning one of us, or one of these. You never really own one. I think they own you, actually. Look, it's been really great, really fun, and we're going to do it all very, very soon. And I'll report back about the life of driving my taxi. Until next time, guys and gals, thanks very much, and I'll catch up with you very, very soon. Cheers now.